So just come into either a comfortable seat, cross-legged, on your heels, on a block, on a cushion. You can even start this one in child's pose if you'd like. So just get comfortable, right? And again, it's just going to be a really short practice just to tune into our breath, because as many of you might know, the breath is the link between the mind and the body, right? And in yoga, we come into our bodies so that we get out of this like thinking, ruminating mind and take care of our bodies. But the breath is that link, that connection between the two. So I really like to start with a little bit of breathing so that we drop the mind into the body, into presence, into this felt sense of calm. So sitting or in child's, whatever you want, just get comfortable here. Good, and feel free to close your eyes. I'm not going to do anything that you need to see. And then just take 2 clearing breaths. So through the nose, a nice full inhalation. Let it go through the nose or mouth. It's totally up to you right now. And let your shoulders drop, let your face muscles relax, and do that one more time. A full, big, spacious inhalation. Releasing the breath and any tension with it. Release the past, release the future, and just become present. And then gently close your lips and let all the breath flow in and out of your nose. And notice if it's smooth and even and fluid and long and luxurious. So we want to find that deeper, more luxurious breath than a natural breath that we're not paying any attention to. And even though the lips are closed, separate the top and bottom teeth, relax your jaw. And just feel that flow of breath. Notice its pace. Notice the different sensations between the inhalation and the exhalation. Sometimes you can notice an inner spaciousness as you breathe in, a filling up, a softening, letting go, maybe even a returning to center as you breathe out. And then begin to also notice here what happens after the inhale before the exhale comes. And what happens after the exhale before you invite in the next inhale. And very often there's a gentle pause. Sometimes there's not, and we're just going to accentuate that pause. I like to call this playing with the pause. So your pace and rhythm of breath is fine. It does not have to match mine. Just see if after you inhale, you can just sort of float and pause without holding the breath. Just notice that in between. And then after the exhale, same thing. Just kind of coast there and pause and just notice that in between before the next inhale arises. And the length of those pauses is completely up to you. See if you can not hold so that the breath doesn't stop and start, but it's just a gentle pause. Sometimes I think of it like being on a roller coaster, right? And the train comes up the track as represented by the inhalation, and you sort of pause there at the top before the train comes down the track, which would be the exhalation, and then you sort of coast there before the next hill that the train climbs. So you can play with that imagery if you like, or anything else. We're just inhaling, pausing gently for any length, exhaling somewhat slowly, and pausing gently for any length. And we'll just do it for about 1 more minute, and then we'll start to move. And just notice how the breath sort of falls out of you when you relax. And you don't have to take the next breath, you just receive it. Notice the sensations in your body now that you've linked your mind to your body through breath awareness and breath control. Very nice, you guys. So keep the breath flowing in a luxurious, smooth, full pattern here, playing with the pause throughout our movement if you'd like. It's totally optional, and everything I'm going to suggest is optional. Feel free to blink open your eyes, circle around your shoulders, move your head in any way that's comfortable, and just coming back into the body as you continue to be aware of the flow of breath. So you're not holding it anywhere. We're going to make our way right up to hands and knees from here. And even as you transition from whatever position you were in to your hands and knees, can the breath still flow fluidly? Let's do some gentle cat-cows, letting the belly drop, pulling the heart generously forward and lifting the sit bones as you breathe in. Maybe there's a pause to feel it. And then rounding the back as you breathe out. Maybe there's a pause there to really dome the back, hollow out, and feel it. And just one more time. Inhaling, sit bones lift, heart extends forward. Notice. And exhaling as you round. Hollow out the belly, separate the shoulder blades. Notice. Drop that head. Good. And then flattening out your back. We're going to curl under the toes, make our way right up to downward facing dog. So everything I'm suggesting again is optional. Feel free to change anything, skip anything, add anything. It's your practice. So I'm pedaling my knees, dropping one heel at a time, just loosening up a bit here. Feel free to do that if that's nice for you. And then taking about 3 breaths, long and smooth, for a little stillness to settle back in. So the heels are dipping, the hips are lifting, the head is hanging freely, and the hands are pressing. And of course, that breath is flowing. Good. And then we'll gently come up onto the toes, lifting the heels high off the mat. You want to make sure your feet are at least hips width apart. We're going to swivel both heels over to the right. So the outer edge of the right foot and inner edge of the left foot are landed on the mat. And then press the hips up and back like you're still in dog. Dangle your head, steady, and smooth out your breathing. Good. And then back up onto the tippy toes here. So the heels swivel up. And then over to the other side. So it's like the feet are on a balance beam. And can you pull both hips back, press equally into the hands, dangle that head, and steady your breath. It's okay if you need to bend knees or drop them, whatever. It's all good, you guys. Come back onto the tippy toes. Start to bend your knees looking toward your hands, and then take your time just to walk up to the front of your yoga mat. And drop your head when you get there, taking a forward fold. Feel free to clasp your elbows here. Keep some weight in the heels and balls of the feet. Like there's 3 balls under your feet, right? Big toe ball, pinky ball, and the ball at the heel. And just sort of equal out the weight distribution. Let your head dangle. Feel free to sway a little if that's nice. Good, releasing your arms, sweep them back, lengthen your heart forward, coming into a flat back. I like the knees a little bent for this one. Shoulder heads lift, palms face down. And with a little bend in the knees, we'll sweep the arms forward and up, rising and straightening up. And then bringing the hands to the heart, prayer pose. Gorgeous. Roll those shoulders back and down, draw the navel in. Again, standing evenly on your feet. Lengthen up from the heels to the brainstem. Draw the front ribs toward the back ribs. So you just feel your structure, your core supporting you a bit here. Set an intention for your practice today. So with the hands at the heart, you can bring the thumbs right to the breastbone. You can bow the head if you'd like to, just to honor yourself for being here. Taking a moment for some gratitude for this practice, this time on your mat, maybe even insight timer, your health, your strength, your presence. Drawing in anything you want a little more of as you inhale here. Pause, let it fill you, feel it. Release the breath. Release your hands, spin the palms forward, and on an inhale, reach up, lengthen. You can lean back if it's nice. Fold forward as you breathe out. Drop your head and hands. With fingers on the floor, left foot's gonna step all the way back. Really big steps, so right knee's over right heel. Lean into the left hand or fingertips and take the right arm up. Good, and then reach the right arm forward, so the biceps over the ear. And then can you press into the front big toe and kind of hug your right hip back and underneath you in case the knee wants to wing out. Good, and then right hand comes back up on an inhale. Reach, reach, reach it up. Take it to the floor as you exhale. Drop that back knee and lift both hands, crescent moon. Good, and then let the hips dip toward the floor as you reach up. Feel free to take your hands, interlace them behind your head and draw those elbow tips back a little, opening across your heart. Steadying and smoothing out your breathing. Good. Reaching the arms back up as you inhale. Hands come to the floor as you exhale. Curl under the back toes, lift the knee, and just step to the front of your mat. Flattening out your back as you breathe in, halfway lift. Folding as you breathe out, hands to the floor, right foot steps all the way back, so left knee's over heel, left arm comes up. So that back hip wants to kind of dip, right? So can you engage it? Extend the left arm forward over the ear if you want to, and then press into that front big toe and kind of hug that left hip under your body and back a little bit. Breathe. Good. Left hand reaches up really high so there's space across the collarbones. Take it to the floor, dropping the back knee when you get there, and both arms float up to crescent moon. And then feel free to dip those hips low so you find a nice sweet little opening in that hip flexor on the right. If you'd like, interlace the fingers, maybe with a different pinky on top. Taking the elbows wide, letting the head fall back against the hands. And opening across the front side of the body, the chest, that right hip flexor, the heart. Good, arms come back up, inhale. Hands to the earth, exhale, lifting the back knee. We'll step to the front of the mat. Halfway lift, breathing in, lengthen. Fold as you breathe out, and then float the arms back, out, and up to rise to standing. Reach really high. Hands come back to the heart center, prayer pose. Beautiful. Reach up, inhale, leaning back if you like. Folding as you exhale. Halfway lift. Inhale, hands on the mat or to the shins. We'll step back to plank pose here on the exhale. Let's hold the plank for about 3 breaths. You're welcome to drop your knees. Hugging the navel in, lifting the head, face away from the floor, but gazing straight down. Good. Then we're just going to hover the right foot off the floor. And staying in plank as you exhale, draw the right knee toward the chest. Hollow out the belly, round the back. Now take the right foot all the way up and back to 3-legged dog. Inhale. And hollow out the chest, knee pulls up as you exhale again. Drop your head round. One more time. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Reach the foot back and up. Exhale, knee to the chest, hollow out. And then step that foot forward. I know for some of us those are really challenging, so just play. We're going to pivot the back heel flat so the toes angle to the front corner of your mat. Before you rise, the bent hip, the right hip, Can you hug it underneath the body again? So it's not winging out to the right, and then just float your arms back. Palms down, shoulder heads lift. Stay a little low, work into the back foot here. Then on your inhale, arms sweep forward and up, coming to warrior one today. Good, go ahead, interlace those hands behind the head, let the head fall back into the hands, open those elbows. Smooth out and deepen your breath. What happens at the top of the inhale? What happens at the bottom of the exhale? Can you hug the belly in to squeeze out a little more air here? And then reach the arms up. Last time, inhale. Hands to the earth as you exhale. Lift that back heel and step to the front of your mat. Halfway lift. Inhale. Fold, exhale. And then we'll rise on the inhale, sweep the arms out, up, reach high, gather something up there you want, pull it into your heart space. Other side, inhale, reach up. Leaning back is always optional. Fold as you exhale, drop the head and hands. Lengthen the heart forward a little as you inhale, hands on the shins or mat. Plank pose on the exhale, step it back. 3 breaths here in plank. Face lifts, belly lifts, thigh bones lift a little. Good. Left foot hovers off the floor. Inhale. Knee pulls to the chest, still in plank. Exhale, but you can drop your head, dome the back and round. Good. Take the left foot all the way up, 3-legged dog. Inhale. And the knee to the chest again. Exhale, press and round. Empty out. Lengthen it up and back. Inhale. Knee pulls to the chest. Exhale. And then we'll step it up toward that left hand. Back foot pivots at an angle. Pause to extend your heart forward. Hug your left hip back and underneath. Work the back foot, float the arms back, palms down, shoulder heads lift. On your next inhale, arms sweep forward and up, warrior one. Go ahead, interlace the fingers, one pinky over on top, head drops back against those hands, support it, open the elbows, maybe sink lower into the legs. Keep the left hip under, the inner right thigh rolling back. The breath flowing, and notice, if you want, the pauses so that you don't hold the breath, so it's gentle and smooth. Good. Hug the belly in as you breathe out. Reach up, take an inhale, and hands come down. As you exhale, lift the back heel and step to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale, folding, exhale. Pause here in your fold, you guys. Bring your feet together if you'd like. If you have low back issues, keep them a little separate. Bend your knees. We're going to come to the chair pose. So pausing first before you lift your hands, sorry. Dip the hips, float the arms back. Palms down, shoulders lift. Good. Lift all 10 toes and spread them for a moment so that those 3 balls of the feet are anchored. And then relax your toes down, pull your belly in. Swim your arms up to chair pose. Inhale. Good. Stay here. Keep breathing. Hug the navel in. Lift through the back ribs. Soften your face. Pinky sides of the hands rotate towards one another. Maybe sink a little lower as you breathe in. And then rise to stand as you breathe out. Hands to your heart. Prayer pose. Take a moment to breathe and reconnect to your center. And we'll go right back into the chair for 1 breath. So bending the knees, lifting the hands. Inhale to chair. Fold in half. Exhale, drop your head. Halfway lift. Inhale. Plank and lower to the floor as you exhale. Roll up to a cobra pose. Inhale. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Right foot lifts behind you. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Step it to the front of your mat. As you exhale, pivot the back heel flat. Rise up to warrior one. Inhale, sink into the legs. Look up to the hands meeting if you like. Hands to the floor as you exhale. Lift the back heel. Step back to plank. Inhale. Lower down. Exhale. Cobra pose. Inhale. Downward dog. Exhale. Left foot lifts up behind you. Three-legged. Inhale. Step it up to the left hand as you exhale. Pivot that back heel flat. Press into it to rise up to warrior one on your in-breath. Palms meet as you sink into the legs. Hands to the floor as you breathe out. Step back to plank pose. Inhale. Lower safely. Exhale. Good. Roll it up to your cobra. Inhale. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Nice job. And about 3 breaths to settle back in. All right. Right foot's going to float up behind you here on the inhale, three-legged dog. We're going to shift toward the plank on the exhale and take the right knee to the outer right arm. Tap it to the elbow if you can. Extend it back again, inhale. And take the right knee over to the left elbow here as you exhale. Extend it up. Inhale, three-legged. And now we'll step it to the front of the mat, right between the hands this time if possible. Pivot the back heel. Lean into the right fingertips and float the left hand up. If it's too deep to be on your fingertips, no worries. Forearm to thigh. Good, and then maybe the left arm can extend overhead. Work the back foot, pull the front ribs in. Maybe wiggle the head a little if you need to. Let's take a big old circle with this left arm. So reach it back toward the back foot, toward the floor. And then again, extend it over the ear, spin the heart up a little. And now reach it back and rise on up to warrior two. Keep that front knee bent. Reverse your warrior. Inhale, right arm up and back. Take the hand to the head here, right hand to the left ear. And let the head fall against the hand as that right elbow lifts up. And you maybe dip a little lower into the hips here. Beautiful. Release the head, circle both hands to the front of your yoga mat. Pause, you guys. Just lift the back heel and drop that back knee again. Good. And this time as you drop the back knee, extend the heart forward just a little bit on your breath in, gazing outward. And then shift that front hip back, straightening the leg, and fold as you breathe out. I'm going to do that twice more. Bending the knee, lifting the heart, inhale. Hands on either side of that front foot. Shift the hip back, drop your head, and fold as you exhale. Last time, inhale, left hip dips, heart lengthens upward. And exhale to fold. So these should feel really luxurious, really sweet if you don't go too far or too fast. Good. Coming back to the bent knee, lift the heart, curl under the back toes to lift the back knee, and just step up to the front of your mat. Halfway lift, breathing in. Folding forward as you breathe out. Pause, feet can touch if you like. Chair pose. Bend the knees, lift the hands. 3 breaths. Soften the toes, equal the weight in the feet, pull the navel in, pinkies rotate towards each other, sink as low as you like. Inhale as you dip in, standing on your exhale, hands to your heart. Take a moment again to recalibrate. And then back to the chair for 1 inhale. Arms lift, hips dip, chair pose, inhale. Folding in half as you exhale, drop your head, drop your hands. Lengthen the heart out, inhale, flat back, and step back and lower down as you breathe out. Cobra pose, inhale. Even up dog now if you like it. Down dog, exhale, left foot lifts behind you. Inhale, three-legged, extend it back. Left knee out or left arm here on the exhale. Hug it up there. Extend it up and back. Inhale, three-legged dog. Left knee over to the right elbow. Doesn't have to touch. Extend it back on the in-breath. Gently step it between the hands or carry it up there. Pivot down the back heel. Lean to the left fingertips or palm down, right arm up. Remember, if this feels like it's too deep today, your breath isn't still flowing, you've gone a little too far, so elbow to thigh. It's all good. One of the things in yoga we want to remember is that we don't want to be overcritical or harsh with ourselves. Right arm extends over the ear. Lengthen from back foot to right hand. Pull those front ribs in. Good, and then let's circle the right arm. So first take it up and back. Feel free to circle the wrist or head and then drop it toward the floor. And again, extend it over the ear. Can you spin the heart up but hug the ribs in? And then can you take the right arm up? Using your core muscles, reach back and rise, second warrior. Keeping the front knee bent, reverse warrior, left arm up and back. Pause here. Catch the head, let it fall against the hand. Find that nice, sweet length from hip crease to elbow tip. Notice if you want to pause the breath. Notice if you don't, it's all good. Release the head, windmill the hands to the top of your yoga mat. Lift the back heel and drop that back knee. And then extend the gaze and heart forward as that back hip dips, breathing in here. Shift that front hip back, straightening the leg as much as you like, dropping the head and breathing out. And bending the knee on the in-breath, smoothing the breath, noticing the pauses. Shifting it back, emptying the breath, relaxing. Inhale, knee bends, heart lifts. What happens in the pause? Can you be really gentle with yourself? Exhale, shift it back, drop the head. And then we'll come back up, bending the knee, lifting the heart. We'll curl under the back toes, lift that back knee. And again, just step to the front of your mat. Halfway lift on the inhalation, folding on the exhalation. Chair pose, bend the knees, lift the hands, inhale. 3 breaths. Let's play a little in the chair. Take the hands to the heart, chair prayer. We're gonna turn right, hook that left elbow, either on the outer right thigh or the inner left thigh. Roll the right shoulder back, extend the crown of the head forward, dip into the hips. Keep the feet anchored evenly, all 3 balls of both feet. I guess it's going to be more than 3 breaths, isn't it? Back to the chair, inhale. We'll go right to the other side. Hands to the heart, turn left. So it'll be 3 breaths each side. Roll that left top shoulder back, widen the collarbones, hug the belly in. Work the feet. Smooth breathing. Beautiful, you guys. Chair pose on your inhale, hips low, hands high. Press to standing as you exhale, hands to your heart. Take a moment. Shoulders back and down, navel in. Press into the feet. Reach up, inhale, lean back if it's nice. Fold as you exhale, drop your head. Last vinyasa, flattening out as you breathe in. Plank and lower down as you breathe out. Up dog or cobra here, inhaling. And back to your down dog, exhaling. Last down dog of this one. So let's take 3 breaths for stillness, to settle, to soften, to feel. Add any wiggling or movement that feels good. When you're ready, knees come down. Crawl them forward so that you can cross your ankles and roll onto your back. When you get onto your back, give your knees a hug. Squeeze them toward your chest. Feel free to rock a little side to side. Very nice. Let's take both feet onto the floor. And we'll just press evenly into the feet again, all three of those balls. Extend your tailbone a little bit forward, scoop it up, and then lift both hips. Feel free to take the arms underneath you, interlacing the fingers there, widening the collarbones if that's comfortable. If not, you can just sort of pull the sides of the mat apart. Just free up your throat. Shift the weight of the feet so there is the equal amount of pressure under that big toe. Notice your breathing. Close your eyes if you like. And then if the hands were interlaced, unlace them. Separate the shoulder blades first, and from the top of the spine down, start to lower. So the tailbone scoops up a little, and then it lands, and the low back softens toward the earth. When the low back lands, we're going to cross the right ankle over the left thigh for thread the needle, so hug your left leg toward you anywhere. You can clasp the hamstring or the shin. Lengthen the back of the neck, soften the eyes, separate the top and bottom teeth. Let yourself soften into those exhales. And again, if you want to play with those pauses, notice what happens after the inhalation. Notice what happens after the exhalation. And let's let go of the left leg. We'll uncross the right. Recross other side. Left ankle on top of right thigh. Hug the right leg toward you. And we always want to keep the eyes, jaw, and neck relaxed here. A lot of us pull tension into those areas of the body habitually, myself included. Smoothing out your breathing. So again, when we're still in yoga, when we're not moving, right, when there's less happening, we notice how active our minds are. So we use the breath to link the mind right back into the body. Let go of the right leg. Uncross the left ankle. We'll bring the soles of the feet together. Let the knees float apart here for just a moment. Open your arms out in a cactus shape. Notice your breathing once more. If you'd like to pause after the inhalation and just notice that fullness, that inner expansion. And after the exhalation, notice the return inward, the softening, the settling. The navel hugs in and knees come up. Keep the arms just as they are right now. Let the knees touch together. Take the feet out wide so you can feel the edges of the mat along the outer edges of the feet. I like to lift my hips, scooch them forward a little here, just so the low back feels a little broader. And then without changing the width of your feet, let the knees float over to the left. You can turn the nose to the right if that's nice for your neck, or not, up to you. Feel the shape. Use your breath to connect back to the body. And then bring the knees back to touch, feet still wide. And let the knees go over to the other side. You can turn your nose opposite to the knees if you'd like. Connecting back to the breath. Maybe you could feel the whole cycle of breathing. The inhalation, the pause, the exhalation, and the pause. Good. And then bringing the knees back up. And just for a moment here, let's just windshield wipe the knees side to side. Loosening up the sides of the waist, rib, tissue, hip flexor, IT band, just kind of nice. And the next time the knees come up, bring the feet beneath the knees, hug the knees back up to the chest. Beautiful. Let's grab the edges of the feet, take happy baby, back of the neck and shoulders and jaw soft. Feel free to rock a little if you'd like. And feel free to straighten out your legs here, keeping hold of the feet or supporting the legs with the arms anywhere you like. Just opening into that inner groin, inner thigh area so gently. Keep the breath smooth. Beautiful, you guys. Feet come up. Knees back to the chest. Give them a nice big squeeze and then take the knees in a couple circles. Feel free to rock the head as well. If there's anything else your body's asking for, take a moment to do it. You might take a supine twist. You might come into just lifting your legs. You might come all the way up to shoulder stand or plow to shoulder stand. About 30 more seconds. Yogi's choice, as we say. Anything you like. I'm going to take shoulder stand. Just a gentle version. Forehead, throat relaxing, eyes softening. Maybe you want to make your way into Shavasana. That's great too. We're going to meet there in about 10 seconds. So wherever you are, if you haven't already landed into Shavasana, feel free to come into that shape now, and it can look any way you want it to look. Palms might flip upward and hands soften, feet might flop out. Lips might open, definitely separate the top and bottom teeth here. Let your eyes close and fall back heavy. And just taking a moment or two to feel the earth beneath you. Just surrender into that supportive gravity you no longer have to work against. And then imagine that you could let go of your physical body and just allow it to stay relaxed here, supported by the earth. Take a full, sweet breath in and pause. And then sigh it out if you like. And now let go of any breath control. You might still keep your awareness, though, on your breathing if you'd like, and just noticing how your relaxed body breathes for you. You don't have to play with the pauses. You don't have to move. You don't have to effort in any way right now. In fact, please don't. Rather, relax. But maybe you want to still notice by simply noticing that softer, more subtle flow of breath. You stay linked in this present moment. You stay connected and calm, grounded. There's nowhere else to be, nothing else to do. Give yourself this gift of presence and allow yourself to fully and completely relax. And I'm going to stay with you here for another 2 to 3 minutes. Please take advantage of this pose. It's the most important of all of them. For now, let go of anything in the future or past. Notice each soft, sweet, gentle breath. And relax. And now very gently return your awareness to your physical body. Notice its softness. Return your awareness to your breath and take a fuller inhalation, pausing when you're full. Let your breath go. Pause if you wish. Before you bring movement into your body, take this last moment now that you're fully connected and present, just to really, once again, honor yourself with some appreciation, some gratitude, and some support for making it to your mat, for getting to know yourself better, for taking care of yourself.